Have you ever wondered why Jesus chose to prepare a charcoal fire on the shore specifically to wait for Peter? In the entire New Testament, the specific Greek word for charcoal fire, Anthrakia, appears only twice in the original text. Once at the scene of Peter's greatest failure, and once at the scene of his beautiful restoration by the Lord. This is not a coincidence. Many believers see this as a profound picture of restoration and healing for a broken soul. To understand the power of this restoration, we must first go back to the night when everything Peter knew fell apart. We find ourselves at the Sea of Tiberias, where the morning mist hides the pain of a man who thought he was finished. John 21 verse 9 says, "When they landed, they saw a fire of burning coals, there with fish on it, and some bread." Part 2. The Fire of Betrayal. It was a night just like this, cold and unforgiving, in the courtyard of the high priest. Peter stood there, trying to warm his body, but his heart was freezing with the terror of being recognized. In that moment, under the glow of the first Anthrakia, Peter did the unthinkable. He denied the one he promised to die for. 3 times he spoke the words of betrayal. 3 times he cut the ties of his discipleship beside those burning coals. Then the rooster crowed. The sound pierced through the cold air, shattering Peter's world into 1,000 pieces. He wept bitterly. That charcoal fire became an anchored memory of his deepest shame and his greatest failure. To Peter, the smell of charcoal smoke would forever be the smell of his own cowardice. Part 3. The Hopeless Return. After the resurrection, Peter did what many of us do when we fail. He went back to what he knew. He returned to his nets. He returned to being a fisherman, trying to drown his guilt in the routine of hard labor. But that night, they caught nothing. The emptiness of the net was a mirror to the emptiness of Peter's soul. At dawn, a figure appeared on the shore. A stranger calling out through the mist, asking if they had any fish. At his word, the nets were filled to the point of breaking. In that miracle, Peter recognized the rhythm of his master. Without a second thought, Peter plunged into the cold water. He couldn't wait for the boat. He had to get to Jesus. Part 4. The Fire of Restoration. As Peter stepped onto the sand, he was met with a sight that must have stopped his heart. There it was, the second Anthrakia. The same smell, the same glow, the same atmosphere as the night of his betrayal. Jesus didn't use words of condemnation. He used the familiar memory of the fire to intentionally revisit Peter's deepest wound, not to shame him, but to restore him and begin his healing. He brought Peter back to the place of his failure, not to punish him, but to replace the memory of shame with a memory of love. Every breath of charcoal smoke that once whispered failure now shouted, "Forgiven." This is the genius of God's restoration. Jesus was addressing the root of the pain. He was reclaiming the territory that the enemy had stolen in the courtyard. Then came the conversation that would change Peter's life forever. 3 questions for 3 denials. Part 5. 3 questions. Simon, son of John, do you love me? Jesus didn't ask about his performance or his strength. He only asked about his heart. In Greek, the interplay between agape and phileo shows Jesus meeting Peter exactly where he was. With every "I love you," Jesus gave a new command. Feed my lambs. Take care of my sheep. Feed my sheep. The failure was erased. The mission was restored. The fisherman was now a shepherd of souls. The charcoal fire on the shore didn't just warm his hands. It ignited a fire in his spirit that would never go out. Part 6. The fire in your heart. Maybe you are standing by your own charcoal fire of regret tonight. Maybe you think your failure is too big, that your denial has permanently disqualified you from your calling. But look again. See the figure on the shore? He has already prepared the fire for you. He is not waiting with a lecture. He is waiting with a meal. His grace is not a general concept. It is a specific, deeply personal response to your specific pain. He wants to transform your past and rewrite your future. He wants to take your Anthrakia and turn it into your altar. When you are restored, your mission begins. Your failure becomes the very platform from which you help others. Peter became the rock of the church because he knew what it was to be broken and put back together by the Master's hand. Life can come from the ashes. Restoration is not just a second chance. It is a new creation. Will you come to the shore today? Will you let him ask you that one question? Do you love me? Every mystery in the Bible, like the secret of the charcoal fire, points to one truth. You are deeply loved. Don't walk away from the fire. Walk toward the one who prepared it for you. Grace is always bigger than failure. If you've ever carried regret, comment, "Grace is bigger than my failure." Let's grow in faith together. May the peace of the Lord restore your soul today. Goodbye, and see you in the next journey.